German regional newspapers. Question to Mr. BROK and SARYUSZ-WOLSKI, please. There has been floated the idea in Germany that former German Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder could play a useful role in his capacity as a personal friend of Mr. Putin. I wonder whether you consider this a useful proposition. Thank you.
Who wants to start?
I think, first of all, I believe this is now the time to reconsider the strategy of the European Union as a whole. I believe we have learned the lesson. Without a real joint Russia policy, there is no good neighborhood policy. And here I think we have to become better. The second point is that we have to talk about the neighborhood policy in a way that we should see it more on a multilateral level, what we have discussed so often. We have done a lot in order to financing certain programs, but I think there was sometimes not enough of a common strategic approach to that. And this might be the consideration. But that is also the same question to the southern neighbors, in a way. To the sanctions, I think it would be wrong that now everyone puts his names on the table plate. I think it's now the possibility that today and tomorrow the institutions talk to each other. And that might be the right moment when the foreign ministers' meeting will happen tomorrow. That then is the place that certain names should be mentioned, and we will make our proposals for that. The last sanction, the question how you put the question to me on Schroeder was already giving the answer. I do not think that Mr. Schroeder has an image in Ukraine that he is considered by the opposition as a mediator. But everyone is welcomed to have his influence on Mr. Putin, to take his part of responsibility for helping that a peaceful solution must be possible. And therefore, Mr. Schroeder is really invited to do that privately and publicly, to have his influence on Mr. Putin.
Thank you. On sanctions, yes, you want to say?
Yes, I would like to add some names very important for sanction. It's about son of Yanukovych, Alexander Yanukovych. His money in Deutsche Bank, I think so. And for Zakharchenko, Klyev. Klyev has money in Austria, Unicredit Bank. And for Yefremov and other oligarchs who support Yanukovych right now. Thank you.
On some sanctions, let me just repeat what I said. Do not overestimate the effects of late sanctions. On Schroeder, I think he is partly guilty of the situation. The Nord Stream, which he authored, is one of the reasons why Ukraine has become so dependent on Russia and so vulnerable. So he would be the last person to be asked to mediate. And overall, I think that the socialists in Europe did not play a positive role in that. Social Democrats in this House were the most reluctant to be forthcoming towards active attitude towards Ukraine Democrats. And this morning, Polish socialists, member of S&D, distanced themselves, former Prime Minister Miller, from sanctions. Not to forget that Social Democrats have signed a cooperation agreement with Party of Regions, and perhaps today they should rethink this liaison, dangereux, and perhaps use, if at all possible, their force and influence to tell Mr. Yanukovych to stop violence. On Eastern Partnership, I think concept is good. implementation is bad. And mostly implementation is bad because we have had somebody who has been trying to destroy it from the outside, and it is Russia. That's why I think that we need a flanking Russia policy, a true one, as Mr. Brok has called for, which would defend and protect this policy from negative Russian influence. And that necessitates to talk on the top levels of EU and US, and to ask United States not just use words, but its strategic weight, which Union does not have, quite frankly, because they are strong in mouth and weak in deeds, because they have their strategic interests, global ones. And they don't want, and they do not intend to put them on risk. That's why I deplore the position of Mrs. Nuland on that. So we need a flanking Russia policy, exactly on the lines as my colleague Brok said, a true Russia policy. It merits a special debate. I think the Council, I mean the meeting, the summit was a profound deception, as expected, but perhaps it has revealed finally to some who did not see that so clearly, that there is a new era needed in EU-Russia relations. And without developing further, I would give the following title: From Russia First Policy to Russia Next Policy. Thank you.